we have Beatriz Borges from Cepaz.
Hi. Thank you for this opportunity. This month marks the 19th anniversary of the Women's Peace and Security Agenda. And in Venezuela, women and girls have serious and differentiated impact due to the complex humanitarian emergencies that violates all the rights, especially sexual and reproductive rights and gender-based violence, and expose them to being victims of trafficking in the human mobility crisis. How can the Security Council integrate this important issue into the agenda?
The fight that we are, I would say, champions of, but one of many, on sexual reproductive health rights, which is something we are doing across the United Nations. In every committee, in every context, we bring up SRHR repeatedly in the Council. We bring it up in the Third Committee, in the Second Committee, in the Sixth Committee. We bring it up on individual resolutions. And, you know, whilst I think the force of argument is with us, those who are blocking it and who are against it form a very unnatural coalition. And I think we need to carry on fighting hard in every single place to push this agenda forward and to remind people of the very real impact it has on the ground over a point of principle which isn't really what it says it is. And I remember very distinctly listening to the delegate of the Philippines co-sponsoring one of the resolutions in the Third Committee last year. And he opened his statement by saying that he was not only a strong Catholic himself, but that also he came from a country where abortion was prohibited by the Constitution. And if he could co-sponsor and facilitate the resolution, what on earth was anybody doing pretending that this resolution permitted or in any way glorified, or whatever the correct term is, abortion? So I do think that it is important that we fight everywhere on that issue. So that's why I think, though, that taking forward the Women, Peace and Security agenda is going to be best done in context-specific places. We need to make sure that we are talking about the issues that we face on WPS wherever it comes up. You mentioned some of the countries in your questions, the Lake Chad Basin, well, not a region, the Sahel, Northwest, Southwest Cameroon, Venezuela, but it is applicable in many, many other places. And we need to be pushing forward on all of those fronts and trying to take forward the agenda earlier this week. I think the last couple of things I'd say, I'm happy to talk a bit about any of those countries or areas in more detail if anybody wants me to. So please come back at me if you'd like me to. And then I think that the last bit I'd say is that, you know, women, peace and security is something we penhold on. We're very focused on that. Children armed conflict is an issue of great importance to the UK, and I believe we're the biggest funders of Virginia Gamba's office. It's something we're pushing forward all the time. And calling out gender-based violence wherever it takes place is also a big part of what we try and do. And we've been very focused on modern slavery as a country and on taking forward extra and expanded work on that across the General Assembly.